Who wants to play Bodies, Bodies, Bodies?
Ever since its extremely positive response at South by Southwest in March of this year, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies has been one of my most looked forward to movies this summer. So imagine my surprise and then frustration at seeing the movie's UK release date of September 9th, which is more than 1 month after its release in the US on August 5th. Are you kidding me? In fact, it's felt like this was the summer of waiting for movies and not watching movies, because not so long ago, I also had to wait for Jordan Peele's Nope, which came out July 22nd in the US and only released August 12th in the UK. And of course, some films like Top Gun Maverick are released pretty much at the same time around the world. So how are release dates chosen? And why are some movies released abroad several weeks after a US release date? Well, surprise, surprise, it all comes down to money, and the guarantee of more money. After a movie is completed, distributors come in and lease the film rights from the production studio who made the film. Once they have the rights, distributors can then talk to buyers who represent theaters like Odeon, AMC, or Picture House. Then, the distributors and buyers negotiate a deal for the film's theatrical run. As part of the deal, they also agree on the percentage split of box office sales and the length of time that the film will be screened. Box office sales is where the distributors make their money. But before a film is even released, the distributors also spend a healthy amount of money on advertising, such as creating trailers, organizing promotional appearances, paying for billboards, and more. This is to make sure that people actually go to the cinema and pay for a ticket, so that the distributors actually get paid. All of this negotiating and spending of money happens several months, sometimes more than a year, before a film is actually released, meaning the distributor is out quite a bit of cash before the theatrical run. This is how distributors are incentivized to do a good job, because their profits are directly tied to the movie's profits. But as we all know, there's never any guarantee that a film would be successful, which is why distributors spend all that upfront money on advertising, and why choosing the right release date matters. Because timing really matters. Besides releasing movies based on seasonality, like more scary movies in October or romantic movies in February, distributors try to release at a time when they think their target audience would watch the film. Oftentimes, films are released during holiday season, like in December or July and August, because people have a bit more free time to go to the cinema. The first reason why international release dates are different is simply because holidays don't fall on the same days around the world. And so, some films might release a weekend or two earlier or later so that the theatrical run covers the holiday. With more people having time to go to the cinemas, holiday release dates can also boost opening weekend numbers. And great opening weekend numbers make headlines, creating buzz and driving more people to go watch the film while it is still in theaters. For big movies like Top Gun Maverick that are usually released globally at the same time, opening during a holiday will mean even bigger box office numbers, which can encourage even more audiences to go watch the film. Meanwhile, lesser-known films use a different approach, because people know less about the film, and there might be a smaller amount of people immediately excited about the film. So a more targeted, limited release approach may generate better headlines. That's why smaller movies often have delayed international release dates, because distributors think that they need to ensure they have a great opening weekend on a smaller scale to show great numbers. This is how they generate more of a buzz for the film's eventual broader release. But I think it's a double-edged sword, because based on personal experience, audience sentiments change, and they can change really quickly. After Nope was released in the US 3 weeks before the UK, I kept hearing 3 weeks worth of only okay reviews. So my initial excitement level for the film was pretty sky high, but the more only okay reviews I heard about Nope, the more my excitement levels deflated. I think honestly, if it was just a week's delay, my level of excitement wouldn't have dropped so much, and I would have rushed to watch the film during opening weekend. But I just simply wasn't as excited about the film anymore. Limited domestic releases before global releases do help distributors reduce risk, and it also increases the possibility of a return on their investment. But our movie perceptions are way more malleable than before because we have way more access to people's thoughts and opinions on the internet. And on top of that, our attention span simply isn't the same anymore. It's now less than a goldfish. The momentum gained during the initial opening weekend just doesn't have as much longevity anymore. While this model of a limited release weeks before a broader release is supposed to minimize risk for distributors, I think it's starting to look more risky because of changing audience behaviors. Instead, the less risky option might be to schedule international release dates closer to the domestic ones and make them all more limited in scope, so that even if the movie gets bad reviews, people's perceptions aren't as quickly influenced over time. And if the movie does do well, then you increase the number of theaters the movie gets screened at. I think this could be a way to de-risk film distribution while also taking into account the changing of audience behaviors. But what are some other ways that you can think of? I'd love to know. Leave a comment below and subscribe for more spiels in the future.